So very quickly, I want to run through some of the current episode weapons that if you don't have, you should probably go get. And these are going to be more niche weapons. This isn't going to be me telling you to go get a hill clip incandescent up here in action, because you probably already have one in your vault. This is not going to be me telling you to get an auto-loading vorpal weapon, Lost Signals, because you already probably have one in your vault. I'm not going to go and tell you to get an Abyssal Edge with Flash Counter, because you probably already have those in your vault. This is not meant for those popular picks, best in slot weapons of the current expansion. I'm just not going to tell you to do that. This is more so focusing on weapons that maybe people skipped over, people didn't bother to grind for because maybe they weren't getting love in the current episode that they were in, or just weapons that people just didn't really have a use for. But coming this new expansion, we are going to get a lot of stasis love, a lot of solar love, and a little bit of Shran love. So these weapons are going to reflect that. And also, I guess this goes without saying, but this is personal preference and this is going to be PvE, but I don't think you need me to tell you that. So the first one, and this to me is like the biggest one that I would look out for, try to go get it now. Timeworn Wayfarer. Now, as you see, off the enemies defeated, I've already used this a decent amount, even without the new expansion coming out. And the role I have is Enhance Shoot to Loot and Enhance Incandescent. This can get things like Hill Clip Incandescent. It can get things like Hill Clip Precision Instrument. But for me, the biggest reason why I'm so excited for this for next expansion is because we have a lot of things that are buffing precision hits with solar weapons. Not only that, next expansion, we have anti-barrier scout rifles. Automatically, this is going to make this a viable pick. And then you add on top of the fact that we're going to get access to Radiant off of solar precision hits. We're going to get access to Scorch being applied to targets off of sustained precision hits with solar weapons. Just so much love is being shown to precision hits with solar weapons that something like this, that is an aggressive scout rifle that is solar based, that can get things like Hill Clip, get things like Incandescent, get things like Precision Instrument, Shoot to Loot. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of aggressive scouts, especially in PvE settings, like I said, but I feel like if there's any weapon you can probably make an exception for, especially going into next season, it would be this one. Next up, I have one that I actually don't have the role I'm looking for, which is Martyr's Retribution. This is from the episode Echoes. You get this one from the Saint 14 reprisal weapons. Now, for those that don't know, the Saint 14 reprisal weapons have probably one of the better origin traits that I've seen in quite some time when I actually looked at what it does. Basically what it does is when you deal melee damage to targets, you basically get your ammo refunded from reserves. So that means with this wave frame grenade launcher, if you shoot the wave and then you hit a target with a melee, it doesn't even have to be a powered melee. It can just be a regular punch. You're going to get that wave frame round immediately back. You don't have to reload the weapon. So in certain case scenarios when you have things like, for example, this can get demo incandescent, this can get hill clip incandescent, things like that, it is going to be very strong, especially with the new Titan exotic, for example, that has a situation where when you throw the Titan hammer, it can actually spawn that Titan hammer back, or not spawn back, but it pulls it back to you on some, Mjolnir type shit. It could be really good with something like this, especially paired with, like I said, something like Demo Incandescent. Can be really, really fun. Also can work on, Warlock and Hunter as well, but that's kind of the idea I have when I see this Martyr's Retribution going into next expansion. It's like a Demo Incandescent with Cast No Shadows, with a new Titan exotic, being able just to throw the Titan hammer, pull it back to me, being able to shoot the wave frame on a bunch of ads, get that incandescent scorch going all over the place, being able to get my grenade back off of that because it's going to have Demo Incandescent. Could be really nice. And just be aware too that these weapons can also be enhanced, even though they aren't technically seasonal weapons. They're reprised weapons that came out in the season. So another one I want to touch on that is like more specific and it's more niche, but it also does have a wide range, is Perfect Paradox. Now, for those that don't know what's going on with Perfect Paradox and why you might see a lot of people running around with it recently, especially with Warlock, like I said, with Cast No Shadows, dealing melee damage refunds the ammo to the weapon from reserves. So with Song of Flame, currently with Finger Snap, or Incinerator Snap, I guess is what it's officially called, you can be in a situation where you can run Tractor Cannon, right? And you basically proc Song of Flame, or not proc, you hit Song of Flame, you shoot your Tractor Cannon, you switch to Perfect Paradox, you do the Finger Snap, 3 Trench Barrel shots, Finger Snap, 3 Trench Barrel shots, and the Trench Barrel shots are doing 50% more damage on top of the Radiant that you currently have, which it's not OG Radiant. I believe Song of Flame Radiant is 20% increased damage, not 25%, so you are missing out on a little bit more damage by me at that point. It's like, but we're splitting hairs at that point. But even still, some of the most consistent damage in the game, and obviously you're going to reproc Tractor Cannon every now and again, and it provides for not necessarily the top tier, the toppest of tier DPS in the game, but it's consistent DPS in close range targets. Not only that, even if you don't want to use it for boss DPS, this thing can get things like 1-2 punch. It can get things like Vorpal Weapon, which is just a free 15% extra damage. It can get things like Swashbuckler with Pugilist, which can be really good for melee focused builds. Overall, this is just a really good rapid fire shotgun. And rapid fires are really good in PvE because they do have increased ammo reserve, so it makes the ammo economy for them a lot better. And they do hit fairly hard, even though they are rapid fires. So this one, just keep it in mind. I know it's just kinetic, so might not be appealing to a lot of people, but there is a combination out there that is going to do some of the most consistent DPS in the game for close range targets. And then also it's just really good for any really melee run and gun type of build. I didn't want to cover things like Adamantite too, by the way. Adamantite or Miro-Mago, I think is what it's called, the Shran support frame auto, and then the Shran submachine gun from the current episode that we're in, because I feel like a lot of people know those are good. So just wanted to point that out there, because I know I didn't say them in the beginning of the video, but I automatically kind of tie those into weapons that we know are going to be good next expansion. And people already have probably a Sword Logic Imago in their vault. They already have like a Frenzy Reciprocity Adamantite in their vault. Like, you know, those weapons I didn't really want to cover because I felt like they also got shown a decent amount of love. One that didn't know, and this is when we start going off the deep end a little bit. The Speleologist. Now, hear me out. And this is not just like, you know, this is not just me trying to be funny. Slideways Killing Tally. I didn't realize this. So Killing Tally typically refreshes on any type of reload perk, any type of reload situation. It has something that causes it to not be abused. Except for Slideways. Slideways reloads some of the ammo from the currently equipped weapon that you have. Now you would think, oh, that means it resets Killing Tally as well, right? It does not. So with something like Slideways Killing Tally, you are going to be able to dump your entire magazine, even from your reserves, all however many rounds come with this. I don't know, I think it's like 400 or 500 rounds total, and be an absolute bullet holes with this weapon. Now, it is a rapid fire, so it kicks like a fucking mule. It does not have good recoil. It is bad with recoil, but this is something that at a certain point, all you have to do is take out 3 targets and you basically have 400 rounds of machine gun ammo that is doing 30% increased damage. So just keep that in mind. I know that is super copium, because I know just the idea of using a rapid fire in any type of situation in PvE or PvP for that matter is just absolute blasphemy. And I did hear that apparently in a new expansion, when they were testing out machine guns, they weren't really hitting that hard. But I'm hoping that's just a bug and they didn't just do an overall nerf to machine guns. I guess we'll find out soon enough. But even still, something like this in a machine gun slot, it has some potential. I'm not saying go farm for one. I'm just saying it's there. It exists. Okay. And since we are on copium power weapons, this one right here, deconstruct bait and switch line in the sand. I know. You probably heard about it a month or so ago. If you haven't and you don't know what the deal is with this weapon, the thing is, right, we don't really have a lot of constructs or vehicles in the game that take precision damage that is like actually useful, where it's actually going to get use out of using a power weapon for them, right? But here's the thing, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what's going on next expansion. We don't know what the raid is going to look like. We don't know what the dungeons are going to look like. We don't even know what the seasonal bosses are going to look like next expansion. They very much so could be they could be constructs or vehicles that take precision damage. And if that's the case, this is going to be the best in slot, even with it being an arc power weapon. You know why? Because enhanced deconstruct and enhanced bait and switch gives you access to 80% increased damage out the box. No damage perks added on top, no weapon surges, no radiant, no sever, no nothing that's debuffing or buffing you, which is absolutely phenomenal. Is it absolute copium as well? 100%. 100%. And this one is also, you don't have to farm for this. This is just, you know, whatever. But yeah, I guess to go over some other ones as well that just like, I feel like people maybe already know. But Red Tape from Episode Revenant can get things like Demo, Headstone. It's a scout rifle, it's lightweight, so obviously it's going to benefit off anti-barrier. We're getting a lot of stasis love. Next season, I believe we have something in the artifact where if you do sustained precision hits with a stasis weapon, you get frost armor and damage resistance, and then you cause nearby combatants to become slowed. A bunch of crazy stuff like that's being done. I think there's also one where it's like providing a debuff to a target, like a stasis debuff, give you increased solar damage or whatever. So this could be useful in certain instances. Patron of Lost Causes, another Saint 14 reprise weapon. It's a lightweight scout, can get things like explosive payload, rapid hit, kinetic tremors. Really good, obviously anti-barrier, like I said, once again, can be really good with anti-barrier. We don't really have anything that's buffing kinetic weapons itself, so you kind of would just use this just in case you're running something that can have overcharged kinetic weapons. Liturgy is also something where I guess I feel like people already have good rolls of this, but it can roll with something like disorienting grenades, slideways, and chill clip. If you guys don't know, slideways, chill clip will put you in a state where you will consistently be providing chill clip to weapons and, well, not weapons, to targets and not have to reload it whatsoever. And then the disorienting obviously is going to cause red bars, yellow bars, anything outside of bosses, and I believe mini bosses, to be stunned for a couple of seconds, which I know a lot of people are kind of indifferent about disorienting grenades. They prefer to just kill the targets than to have them just debuffed and not be able to shoot at you, but sometimes there's value in that. And this to me is probably one of the best utility weapons you can get right now if you haven't had it already. But yeah, disorienting, slideways, chill clip, really good. It's on Liturgy, episode Revenant. Got to grind that out if you want to. And yeah, I think that's about it as far as weapons that maybe people don't know about. I feel like everything else though, you guys already know about. That's going to be good next season. Like a lot of the Shran weapons we have this current episode, you guys already know about. I don't need to talk about. But that's going to do it. I think I'll probably do one for Right of the 9. At some point, the Right of the 9 weapons, I'd have to grind a decent amount more of them just to see. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I actually want to do something as well where I talk about previous expansions. Like I want to go over some of the Witch Queen seasonal weapons that could be good going into next expansion. Lightfall seasonal weapons that could be good going into next expansion. But we'll see how that goes, because that's also banking on you guys already having those weapons craftable. So like I said, we'll see how that happens. And then if they're not craftable, you would just have to get lucky whenever you do the exotic quest rotator, whenever that appears. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. First video, so hope I did well. We'll see how this goes. Until my next one, I'm out. I'll see y'all. Y'all have a blessed one.